What's up, guys? So today I want to go over one of the most messed up scenes in anime history, and this just happened in the last episode of Vinland Saga. So let's take a look. Alright, so towards the end of the episode, the gang is fleeing from this war that's happening on the farm, right? We start to see how Ironhide starts to have this hallucination or this dream where they're going through this forest, and we start to see her husband. The whole discussion is basically whether she should live or die, right? Whether she should just die peacefully or continue to persevere. And this is the point here, right, where we're seeing the flashing light and she has to make a decision. Dang, right there, that's the part that broke my heart when he said that me and the children will be waiting for you on the other side, which means that at this point the son that she had in her womb has already passed. Now here's the thing. My first question is, how do we know that it's a boy? Like it could be a girl, right? We didn't have any tests back then to be able to know whether the sex was going to be female or male. The crazy thing about all of this is that this guy that we saw at the beginning of the season, right, the boss as they call him, you know, he was so peaceful and so loving to an extent, right? And that in his care for the people that most others would just belittle and diminish, he actually treat them fairly. And then we see how this man literally in the span of a couple of days just completely flipped. And this kind of shows how easily someone that has nothing to lose will turn and will see a new personality. And it's not even a new personality. I think it's just simple human nature. I know that a lot of people like to say that, you know, we humans are primarily good, and what the Bible says is that we are primarily sinful creatures, which means that we have tendencies to do evil. And I think that we kid ourselves when we think or say that humans are not capable of doing great evils. And it's been shown through history that that's not the case, man. When somebody gets just a little bit of power, or when somebody sees themselves against the edge, right between the rock and a hard place, you don't know what a human being is capable of. And this is what we saw here. And this is what we saw here in the previous episode, how this man just completely flipped, right? He has nothing to lose. He's losing everything. And he just went nuts, and he took out basically all his frustrations on Ironhide. The last thing that I want to talk about is this dude right here. Number one, the brother is useless, right? But number two, we clearly know, right, if you know anything about storytelling, is that there's no way in hell that they're gonna kill the king, right? Which means that in some way, shape, or form, this dude is not gonna be successful in killing him, and he's probably going to get killed, right? Just based on his personality alone. But what still keeps me watching and going, even though I know that he's not going to be successful, is that I'm curious to see how this guy is going to fail. And to be honest with you, I think he's actually going to die. So I'm curious to see how that actually turns out. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys enjoying Season 2 of Vinland Saga? I know it's very different than Season 1. Season 1 was very packed with a lot of action, while Season 2 has a lot more storytelling to it. And to be honest, like, this last episode was actually a little bit slower. So let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, just want to remind you that we must persevere.